Grief and loss without death, life without emotion. Barriers built, protection from the horrors. How else to live with such heartbreaking anguish? Fear and sadness starkly felt, yet closely guarded, protecting others. Failure to understand the incomprehensible. Who can? Helplessly watching a decline. Fighting battles when others walk away. No glory sought. Just care and compassion for one I love. January 2010, I realised that she was losing weight. So we sought help from the GP. I didn't feel they were taking it seriously. I didn't feel they were listening. She actually had to have an emergency admission to hospital. We got to the A&E department and they thought their heart monitor wasn't working because her heart rate was so low. Then they moved her onto the psychiatric ward at the Children's Hospital, and she spent the next seven months there. She's been diagnosed with anxiety, she's been diagnosed with depression, she's been diagnosed with PTSD. Yeah, it's been a very challenging time because her health has just deteriorated rapidly, and it became much harder to try and support her in the last few days. So, you know, she's hopefully in the right place now. When the full person who is Ailidh is in contact with you, she's a joy to be around. She's funny, she's articulate, she's bright, she's inquisitive, she adores animals. This is a painting that Ailidh did for me, and it's some of the words to some of my favourite songs. And I think even down at the bottom, she tells me, "I love you, Mum." So yeah, it's just nice to see it every morning at breakfast time. As a mum, I want to fix everything, because that's what mums do, isn't it? It's going back to childhood, you know, you pick them up, you clean their grazed knee, you give them a cuddle, you make it better, and off they go and play again. But as a caregiver, that's not always the right thing to do.
What are the specific challenges of supporting a loved one with mental health issues?
It impacts on what you can do, where you can go. It impacts on family holidays. It impacts on work. It impacts on relationships.
Your mental health?
Oh, definitely. Yeah. There may be copies of care plans in there, minutes from multidisciplinary team meetings when she's been in an inpatient setting, information on benefits. Essentially, that is Ailidh's care in paperwork, if you like, over the last 8 years.
Is it a happy life?
There are happy times, and those are to be treasured. You know, there are times I love being out with my friends. There are other times I just can't actually face being out with my friends. There are times I love hearing about what their children are up to. And there are times where that just causes huge sadness. Because because I know what she's missed. And all you want for your children is that their life is happy. You know, that's what they deserve at that age. They deserve life to be happy. We've got the metaphorical cliff edge, and I'm holding onto the back of Ailidh's dress here, trying to sort of prevent her from making the choices that are going to take her over that cliff edge and end in a bit of a crisis. We've got me walking on eggshells because that's definitely what it feels like. Sometimes, yeah, treading carefully, being careful of what you say. We've then got me banging my head on a brick wall. And this can be both in relation to trying to work with professionals and also in supporting Ailidh, because sometimes that feels like what I'm doing. Nobody's listening to me. I guess a few things that I wish I'd known back at the beginning of this journey is that it's okay to prioritise your own needs, and remember that you do still have needs. They haven't just gone away because you're in that caregiving role. I think another important thing was that my normal now is nothing like my normal was. So rather than hanker for something that is out of reach now, it's looking forward to a different normal, a new normal, as I've chosen to call it.
But there is hope.
Oh, absolutely. I think hope changes, but I've never lost sight of hope completely. Sometimes it's very small. Sometimes you wonder where it's gone. But then, you know, just a little thing happens. And I guess that's what keeps me going. There is always hope. There is always hope. It may be little, but it's still there. Distress for childhood lost, so savagely interrupted. Weary from coping, fearful of failing to keep her alive. Heartbroken at hearing her wish to die. Haunted by the torment of her mind and the pleading in her eye. Pride in her beauty. A wish that the small glimmers of strength will, one day, overcome her demons. A quiet hope that she will once again look on the world with a radiant joy so deserved of youth. Yeah, that's what it's like. You know, how do you explain to people what it's like when your child says, "Let me die"? How can you explain what that feels like? You know, it's just, yeah, it's heartbreaking.